emphasize that IIT is mostly focused on youth, the empowerment of youth in agriculture. Does IIT have any plan for the older generation or the rural farmers that are actually, if they've been involved in agriculture for a very long time? Does the organization have any plan for this older generation or the rural farmers that are actually involved in it and they've been doing it for years?
As a matter of fact, for the past 50 years, I would say that has been our focus. And one of the things I did as well to come with this program, it was a very bold program, because even the board, my board of trustees, they were saying, no, we're not supposed to do that, and so on, leave it to education and so on. But I realized that if we don't do this, irrespective of what you do in terms of technologies and so on, it's not going to go nowhere if our young people like you do not change the mindset and so on. The problem is that when my predecessors were doing that, they were doing that like in a social activity. They do little, like anthropology. You study a community. I went to Fashola. Yeah, if you know, I'm even Fashola. I'm a small chief there. Because I did my PhD there and I have a community. You sit with them, and the time you start doing pity them because you are teaching them there is no progress, and we need to change that cycle completely, and that's how Africa is going to develop. We can find some other things for the old generation, the old people to do. In terms of social, some programs, it could be cooperative of A, B, C, D, but production, agricultural production, we have to take it to the level where it's becoming a business. It means that you have to mechanize it. It has to be people who understand that I'm going to make money from this. My market is there. I have to, all kind of things. You see, the young people can do. I think that's. And yes, I was in Osun State. I think 2 weeks ago, and I was talking with the governor. For 2 years, we've been discussing, and he kept telling me that I'm going to give you extension workers who will employ. Those people, they don't have any motivation whatsoever. If they spend 2 months, they're not paid. They've even forgotten, even I would say, to joke, to write even. So they can't do extension anymore. And I told him and the ONI, hey, let's train all the young people of Osun. And yes, they will do cocoa, they will do cassava, they will do all kinds of things and so on. So we have to shift that mindset of agriculture. In Asia, that's what they did. In China, it's the same thing and so on. It's not going to be different in Africa. Yeah.
Finally,
yeah.
African youth are listening to you. Your advice for them?
Yeah, well, I mean, the advice is just the young youth of today believe in Africa and believe in you, because it's not a slogan to say the future belongs to you. This is coming from Imo, where Silva, she's an electrical engineer. She is managing the largest greenhouse. When we trained her here, the greenhouse was 200 square meters. And she said it was too much. Today she's managing a greenhouse with 25 times more than that. She's producing tomato she's selling, and she's saying that greenhouse, which was 25 times more what she was trained, is becoming too small for her. And she wants more and more, because she has seen the benefits of that. She's called her sister, young sister, to come and help her in term. So there is a lot of future in this, and I do believe, as a matter of fact, I directed my son to go into agribusiness as well. So as to tell you how strongly I believe. So he's doing that in DRC, and he's studied basically hospitality and tourism travel. He's forgotten that. He's not in business. Okay,
Thank you very much for your time. We're so
Thank you.
pleased to.
I had to run away and hide. Something happened in the middle of the night. If I came inside without a sound, suddenly my life was turning upside down. All that I could feel was pain, and strangers came and took my soul away. Like a deadly hurricane, I know my life will never be the same.